John Ellsworth is the chairman and founder of Military Families United, which is the nonprofit with the mission to honor the fallen, support those who fight, and serve their families. John and his wife Debbie and daughter Jessie live in the Detroit area. His son, Lance Corporal Justin Ellsworth, in 2004 gave his life defending freedom in Iraq. John founded Military Families United to honor the life of his son and give voice to military families across the country. And we thank you again for joining us, John. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Pleasure to have you back. The word closure really makes me kind of bristle, because I don't think there ever can be closure when someone loses a child in warfare. So let's leave that word completely off the table. It doesn't mean anything in terms of rational discussion. But what does the death of the leader of Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, mean going forward for you? Because you can't speak for everyone else who's in a similar position. What does it mean for you in terms of trying to get some, I don't know how to use the word revenge, but how would you term it?
Relief. It's a great relief. It was both, I was very nervous, excited. It's kind of like we have to wait and see what's going to happen next. Just because it's kind of like a chess match. The way I look at it, it's a chess match. We've won this round, but we're still in the game. We still have a fight on our hands. We have taken out their king, or their leader, but he was at one point at this point, he was just a figurehead. He was not necessarily even in the day-to-day fight. So, I get a little bit of relief just knowing that, and also a sense of pride. Obviously, our military men and women, this kind of goes to show that we don't just give up. We don't just say, oh, okay, so we're not going to be able to get you. We went out there and we hunted. It was 9.5 years we hunted, and we got him. And so that also shows the resolve of the American people and our American military. So very proud, a sense of relief, and kind of a sense of accomplishment also.
I thought this immediately on Sunday night when the news was coming out, and it had to be surreal, because if you're like me, it took you a while to kind of even believe that this is true, because I know that you've been waiting for this day for quite a while. But did it occur to you that those Navy SEALs were doing what they were doing for Justin? This one's for him?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't think, again, I don't want to go back and say this is all about my son. This is all about America. This is about what we stand for. And that's what Justin stood for, and that's what everyone, the service and the sacrifice of all our military and their families during this ongoing war on terror, that's what it was all about. Today it's a better place. America is a better place. The United States, the world is a better place with bin Laden wiped from its face, But we also got to remember we're still in a war on terror. It doesn't end just because we have eliminated him. We still have the safety of Americans here at home and abroad foremost on our minds. So.
John, do you have a take on whether, now that bin Laden has been killed, that we still have a military role that's defendable in Afghanistan?
Yes. Obviously, there's still terrorists there, and our men and women are fighting valiantly, and unfortunately, there are still our numbers are climbing. Unfortunately, the fallen. And the numbers of Gold Star families are growing in the United States. I think at this point, we have accomplished one goal, but at the same time, we need to make sure that democracy, as we know it, is starting to get a foothold in the Middle East. And again, I'm not necessarily a military expert. I'm not necessarily a political expert on military affairs or the Middle East. But as a Gold Star dad, this has got to be the beginning, I would think, of the end. And for that, it's a great relief just knowing that he's not going to be there anymore. And I'm very excited for our military men. I can't wait to hear some of the stories that are going to come out of this. There's just the way he died, putting one of his wives in front of him. It just kind of makes me, it makes me chuckle, but at the same time cringe, thinking, this is somebody that they've held up as such a great warrior, but yet he died like such a coward. So, again, it's with mixed emotions. I'm very, very joyful, very proud of our military, but at the same time, what's next?
John Ellsworth, the chairman of Military Families United, with us on the Brad and Britt Show on FM Talk 101.1 WZTK and FM Talk 1011.com. Have you had a chance to talk with some of the other Gold Star fathers, and have you guys kind of swapped stories and kind of given each other support during this time?
I have. I've talked to a few of my friends from around the nation, and it was one of those things that quick. In today's world, you have to text as soon as you can, as soon as you get the breaking information. And I had something that I had it actually before Geraldo had it on Fox News, believe it or not. And it was pretty cool thing to watch him come up with this piece of paper that said, "No way, they caught him." I said, "Yeah," and I already texted two people already saying, and posted it, said, "Yeah."
Well, John, you know what that's all about. Geraldo wanted to catch him himself with his bare hands.
Right.
You know what? Yeah. Well,
Geraldo's got a hero thing.
He was on him in a safe somewhere. So
that's exactly right.
In Chicago or something. But it's nice to be able to share a little bit of happiness with some of these folks, because we all kind of collectively pumped our fists and think, yes, finally. I think back of some of the people that have lost their lives or have passed on since. And then I think to myself, well, at least they know now that we don't give up and we do keep our word. So,
for people who may have missed your first appearance on the show, tell us a little bit about Justin. What kind of a man that he was?
Justin was a good kid, typical. Teenage guy, played football and hockey in high school, came to me his senior year and said, "Dad, I'm not ready to go to college." And I could have, well, yeah, nobody is, but he said, "No, I think I want to join the military." And I said, "Okay, you research it." So he came back a couple months later after, and he said, I've decided. And I said, "What are you talking about? Because kids talk about this kind of stuff all the time." He said, "Yeah," he says, "I could join the Army, I could join the Navy, I could join the Air Force, but I can become a Marine." And then I go, "Oh, well, he's already been talking with the recruiter." So, but he's the type of kid that loved the challenge. He was not a big statured kid. He was 5'6", 150 pounds, and he excelled in what he was doing. He loved what he was doing. He loved every minute of it. Knew he was helping people. When he was in Iraq, he called quite often, and he would tell me about some of the faces of the lives that he saved. He could see the faces of the lives that he saved. And I could just hear the pride coming from that 20-year-old in the middle of a war zone. And he was just so proud of the work that our military men and women were doing. And that's the reason I started this fight. I wanted to make sure we get the good word out. Our men and women over there are doing a tremendous job. We asked them to do this job for us, and they're doing a great job. We want to be there to support, we want to honor the fallen, support our troops, and serve the families. And that's what we're all about at Military Families United. And, this is just one more thing that we're able to, one more feather in our cap, to make America that much greater. So we certainly appreciate you guys getting the word out. And, Justin would be, I think, proud of the fact that we're able to continue on and fight the good fight and still see some accomplishments coming from our military men and women. So, I certainly appreciate the time.
Your website is militaryfamiliesunited.org. After, I don't mean to be saying this in such cold language, but after you find out directly from the government that your son has been killed, what kind of support mechanism is in place officially for families like you, or is it just, that's it, here's the letter, goodbye? What do they do?
Well, it's not quite like that, and some are a little bit better than others, and we've actually discussed this, because we're in a position now of we've created this massive network of families. The government is able to come to us and say, what can we do better? So over the last 5 years, they have done things much better. And I'd like to attribute that to Military Families United and some of the other veteran service organizations that are out there. What we've done is we've been able to sit down with the Department of Defense and say, these are some of the things where you're lacking. Some of the things that, with the casualty officers that arrive, we have a great working relationship with a lot of the casualty officers. When they arrive on your front step, their lives change. The officers' lives change, and the families' lives change forever. And there's a bond that's created. We like to see that bond extended a little bit more than just for the, we create, and it's unfortunate, but we create a crutch with our casualty officers, and our families rely on them for information. That's the only connection we have now with the military. Unless you're another family member is joining the military, you are no longer necessarily part of the military, but now, the way things are, you are a little bit more part of that military for the rest of your life because they bring you in, they treat you like family. We're extended family. It used to be when this happened, we were kind of treated like outcasts because other military families didn't want to be around you because you're a constant reminder of what could happen to them. And we've kind of taken that veil off and said, it's okay for you to feel that way, but don't shut us out. And the Department of Defense has listened. They've done a great job with the military families. They're improving. I will give them that. They've done an awful lot of good things and adjusted some of the things that they're doing for the military families. So, and we also step in and try to help when the casualty officers can't. There's an awful lot of programs out there that are able to help the fallen. But we're not just about the fallen either. We help those that are currently serving. We have a program called Camp Desert Kids, where we take the kids that are deployed and we kind of educate them about Afghanistan, or if they're going to Iraq, we educate them about Iraq. And it kind of eases that fear of the unknown for the military families. It's really a great program. And next time it's coming down that way, I'll let you guys know. Maybe you guys can hook up and we can. I'll walk you through it, just kind of give you an idea of what we do. I think it'd be a great thing. We've done it a couple times down at Bragg. We've done it a couple times at Cherry Point. So next time we're in the neighborhood, we'll give you a call and walk you guys through it. I think you guys would really enjoy that.
We'd love to see that. We'd love to be a part of that. MilitaryFamiliesUnited.org is the website. You can follow them on Twitter. Military Families and the letter U. Military Fam and the letter U. Thanks so much for your help and all the good work that you're doing.
Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. John Ellsworth on the Brad and Britt Show. It's FM Talk 101.1 WZTK.